We're back at the Mobile World Congress Americas here in San Francisco. I'm here with Jan Karlson, who you run the BSS related activities for Ericsson. So I'd love to tell you I know everything there is to know about BSS, but that would be BS. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, you hear that joke? so I've been saving that just for you. So what is BSS?
Business support system.
Business support systems, okay.
So it's running, it's the administrative systems in a telco operator. They are monetizing through BSS systems, then provisioning new subscribers to BSS systems. So it's not the radio network, it's not the core network, it's the CRM layer.
Okay, so the business operations.
Correct.
So it's to charge back and things like that?
Billing, charging, catalog, order management, provisioning, okay. CRM.
So, it's interesting in that, so the area of the business where that actually makes money, the things that collects the money.
That enables the operator to make money, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So one of the big things that people have been pointing out in terms of 5G is the ability to sort of multiplex and have multiple users on single pieces of hardware.
Correct.
And I think BSS will probably be a big part of sort of enabling that.
Absolutely.
So it's not just faster pipes, it's being able to do more, duplex.
Absolutely. Have you heard about T-Mobile US Digits?
No, what's that?
So it's basically to be able to have one number on multiple devices, or on one device to have multiple numbers. That's partly enabled by the business support system. So it gives a business support system is why it's important. Because today, operators, telcos, are typically not very agile. They don't consider themselves as very agile. They consider themselves as being relatively slow. And one of the reasons for that is these systems are very complex. They've grown complex with customizations, own versions of systems. And so for them to become more agile, they need to invest in business support systems compared to what they have today.
Okay. So what do these services look like? They're SaaS-based offerings?
Yeah, partly. It's part of the transformation. It's not the only one. It's one thing that is very important. The simplification, if you want. Today, when you have a system which has evolved over 15, 20 years,
yeah,
you take on so much complexity, you take on so much customization that it grows slow. So it's about, okay, do I need this, do I need that, or can I simplify compared to what I have right now? And that takes guts and brains. You need to decide, this is what I need, what's core for my operation, and this is nice to have. I don't need that.
So
and in order to do that, you need alignment. Yeah, it's not just IT. You need business to support you, you need marketing to support you, you need management to support you. Yeah, that's a very wise decision. So it's not an IT project, it's really a transformation for the operator.
So the word transformation has been bandied around a lot over the last couple of years. Yeah. It seems like it's almost gone out of style again. Am I reading between the lines? So you've mentioned it more today than I've heard in a long time. So what's going on with the current state of digital transformation?
So I think it's among the most difficult things you can do.
Mm-hmm. So what does it really mean though? What's
you try? If I say digital transformation, you want your channels of communication to be less point of sale, calling to a call center, to move into a digital Uber-like, Facebook-like
consumerization? Is that what we used to call it?
To some extent, but it's not applicable only for business to consumer, it's also for business to business, but it's to enable a much more digital interaction with your customers compared to what you have today. But in order to do that, that's kind of the top of the iceberg. You have a whole iceberg enabling engine to do that. And again, it's so topical, it's difficult. It's super difficult to do. And you could say, let's postpone it because it takes too much money, it takes too much effort. But you can't do that. It's fundamental for the telco to become more agile compared to what they are today. Transformation is a must.
You know what? About 10 years ago, there was this kick towards what they called Web 2.0. And everyone back then was trying to build sort of web-friendly, things that look more like consumer-oriented websites.
Yeah.
This reminds me of that transformation, except rather than trying to make these snazzy websites, they're trying to operate more like a Facebook or operate more like an Uber of whatever. It's like applying sort of the structural components to a startup to an enterprise environment. Am I overthinking this?
No, but you're right. You're on the right track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your group is sort of implementing a lot of the structures and systems that will allow for that kind of transformation to happen.
Absolutely. And there's not one size fits all. You know, it depends so much on how good or bad your IT systems are. Have you transformed before? Is this the first time that you take on such a challenge? How much money do you have? How much time do you have compared to what the competition are doing right now versus you? So it's again, it's extremely difficult. It's a must, and what we try to do as Ericsson is to support device. What's the best way to do it? Is it a greenfield approach? Is it a big bang approach or a phased approach? That's really our role.
Okay.
Based on what we've seen around the world.
So in essence, if you don't do it, you're relegated to sort of antiquated back. You're left in the dust kind of stuff.
Basically, what would happen is subscribers would say, "That guy takes 45 minutes for me to do that transaction, and the other guy is kind of instantaneous. Who am I going to pick? Probably the guy who gives me the best experience, user experience." And again, I want to emphasize that it's not just the user experience per se; it's really the engine that empowers that user experience. So
in some ways, it kind of reminds me of like a lot of people use the analogy of like the Apple App Store,
right?
And everybody seems to want to be sort of Apple-like in their sort of delivery of how you interact with them as a company.
Yeah.
And so it's the whole
Goes
variety
in that
of things.
direction.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What about OSS?
So OSS is even more at the back. So it's basically to operate the network. And again, you have typically an operator, if you ask them how many OSS systems you have, maybe 100. So it's all kinds of flavors to manage transmission, radio, to manage fault management, performance management, configuration management. There's all kinds of aspects to this. And that part, OSS is also transforming into something more automated. Basically something that does things on its own, self-optimizing, self-provisioning.
Funny thing about what you're describing, it sounds like a sandwich. It sounds like this, in America here they love their club sandwiches. It's several layers of stuff. You take a bite and it all falls out the side.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do is keep it all in place. Like, and do you need 100, various
systems? No.
It sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, it does.
But
it's normal. If you have had a matchmaking team, imagine whatever, an operator which has grown over tens of years, and you start with IP and you implement an OSS system for IP, and then you do 4G and you have an OSS system which caters for those capabilities. So you basically, it's like there's core, and then it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And sometimes you need to decide, actually, I need to simplify. But it takes. It's not easy.
I don't know if it's possible to simplify. Every day there's a new app, there's a new thing, and that new thing is the thing you have to have for that day until the next thing comes. So it's almost like there's a proliferation of app and services and the only way to really run an enterprise today is to just accept that there's an exponential growth in the stuff that you need to have access to, whether it's data, measurement, billing, explosion.
Yes. At the same time, you need to transform, and there are complicating factors to this. There are some vendors who like customization. They say, customization, that's part of my business model. I love it. Give me more because it's going to give me more business. It's going to make my system more sticky.
Yeah.
And what you have to be able to do as an operator, as a vendor, is really trying to stay the course. No. Simplify. Avoid customization type of thing. Try to go with what's available off the shelf and avoid basically your feature parity compared to what you had 10, 55 years ago. What do you need for tomorrow's business? What do you need for tomorrow's operation?
While also trying not to just be dumb pipe.
For sure.
Right? You need a...
But that can be an option as well. You can say, I'm going to be a dumb pipe. But that means that your your role in the value chain is going to be a bit limited. But if you want to step up, for sure, you need the tools to be able to do that.
Yeah, so it's funny how little in terms of the things that are citing, and I don't mean it as a negative, come from the stuff you build on the network, not the stuff that's in the network.
Right.
You know, if you ask an enterprise provider, NFV is the most exciting thing in the world. You ask a consumer, you know, what is NFV? I don't know. Who cares? It's virtualized whatever. Who cares, right? So the challenge I think with a lot of these providers is always, you know, how to remain relevant and not just be that hype.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot of interesting stuff to make and keep these guys relevant.
Thanks.
And I apologize about that joke at the beginning. I'm sure your PR guys will call me later. the next one's on me. Your assistant tells me you're a LinkedIn guy, so I'm not going to ask you for your Twitter. But if folks want to learn more about your group and whatnot, where should they go?
To my LinkedIn account. Ericsson.com, sorry.
I swear he's, so find Jan Karlson from Sweden. I'm sure there's only one.
Maybe not.
And on LinkedIn. Thanks again for coming on today, I appreciate it.
Good job.
This is wrapping up my day on from the Mobile World Congress Americas. I really appreciate Ericsson for giving me the opportunity to come in here and meet the team. You know, I'm looking forward to meeting more of your guys. Barcelona, I'm going to try to make that happen for sure. Not just because I like the beach, but because I like Carl. All right,
Good.